I wanted to ask young Jessica, who's helping us out here in the program today. By the way, good morning to you and thank you for doing this.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
At such late notice. No, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Look, I'm good. Now, you're 26.
Yes.
And I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but a very attractive young lady.
Thank you.
Okay, your parents must be very proud. But you, at the age of 26, have decided to go online to find a partner. Are you after a partner or are you just after company? Are you after a boyfriend? Are you after a husband?
I'm definitely after something of more substance. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And so when you go, look, take me through this. I've never done it.
Yes.
I promise you, I've never done it. So you go online and you use Tinder.
I've used Tinder, and there's another one. It's not as popular, called Happen, Happn.
Yeah.
Happen sort of more so works that when you cross paths with someone, they then appear if they have an account as well. So it works as in you're meeting people that have been in your vicinity physically.
No, yes, okay, back up. back up.
So
you go onto a computer.
No, it's with your mobile, a smartphone.
Oh,
so you download an app.
Yeah.
Usually it's got to register and verify you through Facebook. Most people have Facebook just to make, and that's how you select your photos and they know that you're a real person. With Happen, it's sort of within a certain diameter. Whoever has crossed paths with you, they then come up on your app. So it's people you've crossed paths with in real life.
Okay, so you're not meeting total strangers, because it worries me, this online dating. How do you know you're not going to, when you decide you want to meet someone and you say, okay, well, we'll go to this bar and we'll meet. How do you know you're not meeting a rapist?
Well, yeah, I was apprehensive at first, but because it's verified through another form of social media, Facebook, then you sort of know it's a bit more legitimate, and also that you can see if you have mutual friends on Facebook, so it's sort of, there's a 6 degrees of separation filter as well. But that's not as popular as Tinder. That's sort of
what's Tinder?
Tinder is very, very common. I'm really surprised how many people use it. There's a lot of produce on there. There's a lot of people that use Tinder.
A lot of produce. Is that the word, is it?
That's the word I'm going with today. There's because I used it a few years ago and it didn't seem as popular, but now there's just everyone seems to be on it. It's a very acceptable
all age groups.
way. All age groups. It's a very normal, acceptable way to meet people and to date. I felt in the beginning it was a bit more taboo and it was a bit more frowned upon to be using Tinder, but now it's very common.
Because I've read that Tinder was, I don't know, I suppose they all can be a bit like this. There's RSVP and there's all those things, but Tinder seems to be the popular one, and some people just use it to find a one-night stand.
Yeah. I would say that some people do that.
And are they honest about it? They say, "Listen, I just want one night."
I think some people are pretty straight up with their intentions. I think it's important to be honest with why you would want to be speaking with someone.
But here's my question for you, Jess. Do you use these online dating services because they make you feel safe? I mean, if you, what happened to going to a bar and a pub and a dance and meeting someone across the crowded dance floor like we just heard?
How sad is this? Is 2016? This is the reality of dating. I find it, I don't know, I think it's definitely a way to pass time, to be on Tinder. I guess it's a form of escapism as well, to sort of, you're exposed to so many people, and I think in such a large city where the scene of going out is it's limited when you go out. There's a certain type of people that go out, that go to bars, that go to the bars you're going to, and a lot of guys are usually only going to pick up, or they're just going to get wasted with their mates. So I think it does sort of broaden your horizons in terms of the kind of people you can get to know on a dating app. I think going out can be more limited in a way.
Folks, give us a call, 1332. How did you meet your partner? How long have you been together? I want to hear some unusual stories, and I doubt very much we'll get many people who met online, but you see, I could be wrong. You reckon I might be wrong?
Could be wrong. You might be surprised.
I might be surprised. 1330. And look, if you did meet online, you see, I guess if you go online and you have like a menu, and you can look at a photo. So first of all, you can see if the person you're looking at's vaguely attractive to you.
Yeah.
And then you can go through all the little things like smoking. That could be deal breakers.
Yeah.
What are the common deal breakers? Is smoking the number one?
For me, I think smoking's up there for me.
Okay. Tattoos?
Criminal record.
Criminal record? That's a deal breaker?
Yeah, for me it is.
See, some women are attracted to that.
No, thank you. I don't have time.
No,
Men
some
bring
women
enough
are. Some
baggage.
women-
We don't need any more.
Some women like the bad boy.
I've never understood that appeal. I don't know why.
Some people
Dating is complicated enough. Why do you want to bring illegalities into it? I don't understand.
Listen, I find this fascinating. It's such a different world. And I tell you what we might do. I'll let you get back to work.
Okay.
Because Marianne's carrying your load down there. Look at that phone going bananas. But when Todd McKenney comes in later today, I might get you quickly to come and join us on the back deck.
Okay.
And we'll talk about this.
Okay, sounds good.
And we'll take some calls on it. But so deal breakers.
Yep.
Number one, smoking.
Smoking's for me, yep.
Okay, number one deal breaker for me, I'm not fond of women with tattoos.
Oh,
I don't like
why?
it. It's not feminine.
What if it was a bad decision they made in their teens?
Yeah,
You know?
well, it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it wouldn't attract me.
Okay,
I don't,
fair enough.
Women with
But you
tattoos.
shouldn't rule them out just because
I like
they have...
I like feminine, soft women.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
old-fashioned.
can't judge someone just because they've got a tattoo.
You can't judge someone just because they smoke.
Look, true, but I also don't want someone who's going to be ill later in life because they've chosen to smoke.
No, okay, you don't want to be their
Health
nurse.
is important.
You don't want to be their nurse.
I don't want to be their nurse. No, I would like an alive partner.
Yeah, okay.
An alive and healthy partner.
Unless, of course, he's much older than you and very rich.
Well, I'm not interested in that. No.
Another
Not
deal
for
breaker
me.
for me would be someone who didn't like animals. Because I love animals.
Yeah, it's so important. I agree with you.
There's something wrong with someone who doesn't like animals.
I agree. Like a cute puppy, how can you not?
No, I know.
Some people are strange.
Yeah, I could go without an axolotl or a python.
Yeah, look, me too.
But the puppy, you're right. If someone didn't like the look of
They have a
a
cold
Labrador,
heart.
a
All the
Labrador
way.
puppy, I mean, that says it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a heart of stone.
What's another deal breaker? Drinking, non-drinking, social drinking. Good sense of... The ads always say...
You've got to have a sense of humour.
GSOH.
Oh my gosh. You need to have a sense of humour. And you have to have a heart. You know, you've got to be empathetic, I think. You've got to care about the important things.
Say hello to Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I
good.
just wanted to give you guys a call.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to the show, and I actually met my wife on the internet.
There you go. There you go. How did you meet? Did you
Tell
use
us
a
a
dating
story.
app?
Well, it was luckily it was 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I was in the military, in the U.S. Army, and the big theme there was to really just go out and get drunk with everybody, and it wasn't really my thing, so I ended up staying at home. I stayed on the computer for a while and actually got on MySpace.
Wow. Back
And,
when MySpace was big.
Yeah.
I have no
And
idea
I
what
actually
you're talking
started talking to this lady from Australia, and 6 years later we're married and expecting our first kid.
about. So you were
Wow.
overseas.
Yes.
Okay, so he's in America, she's in Australia. They meet up on this MySpace, whatever.
Yeah. It's sort of it's sort of like Facebook today, but it was really big back in the day, yeah.
And so did you fall in love online, or were you just intrigued?
I mean, we dated online for a year, so I'd like to say, yeah, I fell in love. And what I think made us get along so well was that we didn't have the sexual contact.
So you got to
it was
really know
all-
each other.
Yeah, we got to really know each other, and we were actually interested in each other rather than just the typical
Did you
situation.
video chat a lot? Did you use webcams and things?
Yeah. We
Okay.
actually used MSN Messenger back when that was popular.
Throwing it back to the old days.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Old days.
The good old days.
Back in my day, you went to the Boondah Reserve and you danced to Cold Chisel
No, not anymore.
and
What a
and,
dream.
the Ballroom Blitz
Romance is dead.
and oh God, back in the old days. Jeremy, thanks for your call. I'm glad it's all working well. You got kids?
They're expecting.
We have one on the way.
Okay,
one
you
on the
mentioned
way.
it.
I hope it all works out for you. What a great story.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jeremy.
too.
You too. Jeff, g'day.
G'day. I owe my meeting of my wife indirectly to Dick Smith.
Okay.
CB radio.
Oh.
Remember the old CB radios?
So, are you a truckie?
No.
No.
My brother had a CB radio. Actually, I put a CB radio when I was about 17 in my car.
Yeah.
And I ended up chatting up a couple of girls, and me and my mate went round and met them.
Hang on, Jeff. Jeff. I've got to pause you. Jess.
Yeah.
Citizens Band Radio.
Yeah.
Are you across it?
I've heard of it, but I don't know enough about
There's
it.
no Wi-Fi, there's no Bluetooth involved here. It's you have these channels and people join on and you can just talk to people on the radio.
Wow.
Citizens Band Radio. Sorry, Jeff, I just had to bring her up to speed.
That's all right. And then what happened was we ended up going out and meeting all her friends. This girl's friends, who was my girlfriend, and I saw like my wife, right? She's now my wife, and I thought, geez, that's all right.
She's a looker.
And this is true. This is true. We were at the Blue Mountains. We went down the old railways that went all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
You remember that skyline that went down? And I went down with my current girlfriend at the time. She wasn't my girlfriend. And I lost the ticket. And by the time I got back up, I had 2 girlfriends.
Oh my goodness. Oh
So
my
that was pretty. And then that sort of, after about 3 months, she said, "Oh, look, I can't be your girlfriend because my friend is your best girlfriend, and it won't work."
Bit of drama.
Right. Well, I'll get rid of her. And we've been married for 30.
One's enough, hey?
All right, listen.
33 years.
Thanks for your call, Jeff. Listen, those callers there, we'll get their numbers and we'll call them back because I've got to move on to other things. But very interesting.
It is interesting.
I'll invite you onto the back deck with Todd
Sure.
McKenney after 12:15.
Thank you.
And we'll continue the conversation. But I'm also welcoming onto the back deck here this afternoon the work experience girl who's been helping Marianne produce the program today. Her name is Jessica. Jessica, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I had
Are you
Je-
old enough to drink? Because we're having a
Yes,
beer
what
on the back
compliment.
there.
She's 26.
Oh, are you 26?
Wow, oh my gosh.
She's
Please,
26.
Can we
Oh my
hang out more
gosh.
often? What a compliment.
Jessica was with me earlier. We were talking about online dating and Tinder, which she has done, and we're going to talk about it in just a sec.
Right.
But, George, I'll let you go and enjoy your weekend. I thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much.
I'll let him go. George Christensen, their member for Dawson. A caller just before.
George seems like someone you'd want on your side if you had a problem or a predicament. He seems like a very level head. He's like the Oriana, like just coming to the heart.
The Oriana.
Remember that?
But you're more like the Fair Star, aren't you?
They are much more like the
The
Fair-
fun ship.
No, we used to call it Fair Star the pun ship. No fun intended.
Oh, very good.
I went on it. I won a raffle.
Wasn't it a crook old ship?
It was a crook old ship.
Jessica,
You know what?
Jessica, this is a P&O ship that
Yeah.
used to come to Sydney all the time, and its marketing was aimed at young party
So
kids.
it's Fair Star the fun ship.
It was
right?
barley on water.
Oh, it was barley on water. They had
Sounds like a dream.
Their main bar was called the Animal Bar, right? And it was open 24/7. So I won this trip in a raffle, and went on the Fair Star. That's why we called it Fair Star the Pun Ship. And as we were coming into Sydney Harbour, all the guys in the Animal Bar had an all-nighter, and you had to take your luggage and put it under a net on the deck.
Yeah.
As we came into Sydney Harbour, they poured out of the Animal Bar and they started turfing everyone's suitcases into Sydney Harbour. Mum lost her suitcase. So go figure that. So you missed nothing, Jess.
Good. Good to know.
I had a mate. He still is a mate. I haven't seen him for ages, but we'll be mates if we see each other. It was one of those friendships. He and 3 uni student mates, when they were at uni, they went on the Fair Star to see some people off. This is back in the day. You could actually go on board and you could have drinks with your friends, and then you went down the gangplank and the ship went off. They don't do it anymore because of customs and passport. Anyway, the ship was going to Fiji. And he and his mates got, you know where I'm going.
I know where you're going.
They stowed away.
No.
They did.
On purpose. They didn't
Yeah.
caught.
No, they stowed away on purpose.
What happened to them?
Well, they got away with it for, I think, a couple of nights. But the cabin that their mate was in was full because he'd brought girls home. Oh, look,
Right.
wait. The cabin wasn't available.
Yeah, right.
So they're sleeping on the deck chairs up on the deck. And the staff got wind of it, and they ended up in Fiji. They got turfed off. They got taken to a police station, and they had to pay for the cruise right there and then, or they were going to jail.
And once they pay for it, could they get back on and finish the cruise? They could.
So
More importantly,
so one of them rings their father, and this is back in the day when you wired money.
Yeah.
He wired the money, and then they had the rest of the cruise, but they stowed away and got put in jail.
Well, Jess, to give you more pictures, so when cruise ships used to take off from the pier, the wharf, it was you'd throw streamers. That was the big sort of thing. And on the
you'd hang on
Fair
to
Star, you threw toilet rolls.
See, it was a class ship.
It was a classy all the way.
It was
Luxury.
it was a really, really classy
What a
ship.
view.
new ones, not used.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we're on the back deck. plenty to talk about. Todd McKenney's here. Jessica is here because she's going to tell us about life on Tinder, which I found fascinating this morning. How did you meet your partner? 13, was it the old-fashioned way at a pub, at a bar, at a dance?
I know a lot of people who have met online, and I still find it a bit creepy.
See, she's going to
People think it's embarrassing to say if it works out and they're asked, how did you meet? People feel embarrassed to say, oh, we met on Tinder.
Well, I think
and they lie about it. I think you should take pride.
I just think it's creepy.
You think it's
But is
weird?
it actually about dating, or is it about more than dating? You just want to, swing
No,
your
I
leg?
think there's a mix. I think you just got to be, honest about what you're on there
You see,
for,
the thing
I
is,
guess.
I've got to take a break. But I think the thing about Tinder and online dating is you can tick off all your deal breakers. You see,
Right.
if you meet someone at a dance as a physical attraction, right, and then you take it from
and
there.
then they might have a fluffy cat, for instance.
Or they might smoke.
Yeah.
Or
Not on Tinder. On Tinder, it's pretty superficial in that you just put photos. There's no on other dating apps, you can put a bit more about yourself. Tinder's purely just photos.
So it is
and you
just
can
about
write a
physical
little bio.
attraction, Jess, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really, in that sense, it's, yeah.
Right. You shouldn't have any problems, should you?
That's what I said.
You need to take your ID with you, though. That's the only thing I'd suggest. You
She's
look like
26.
12.
She
Keep him
looks-
around. What a nice guy. Oh my gosh, stop. 12, living the dream.
Going to take a break, folks. We're on the back deck.
Luke Bona on Sydney's original 2UE 954.
1332. Has anyone listening ever stowed away? Before we take...
I love it when people confess to this sort of stuff.
Well, I know, it's good.
Truth comes out on air.
It's great, isn't it?
Jessica is with me, the work experience girl. Todd McKenney is with me, the work experience...
Boy, I've had a bit of experience.
Has he had a bit of experience, folks? And I'm Luke Bona. You're on the back deck Friday afternoon. Nick, hello, talk to us.
Yeah, g'day, guys. After I had a marriage breakup about 10 years ago, I decided to try this online dating so-called thing, and before you know it, I had a girl virtually in every region of Sydney, one up at Northern Beaches, one in the Sutherland Shire, the inner
Oh
west,
my
the
goodness.
the northwest, the southwest, and the west.
Oh
And,
no.
Did they
There was-
know about each other?
No, that's why I had different regions.
Oh,
And then
Classy.
one day I just thought, I need one more so I can have one on every finger.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
I met this girl and, or lady actually, she wasn't a girl, and we went out on a couple of dates, and then one night over dinner I said, watch this, and it still hurts me to the day, and I grabbed my phone and I went into my group of contacts, and I said, watch this, and bang, bang, delete, 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 delete. And she
Oh,
said,
that's
what are you
love.
doing? I said,
That is love.
That's commitment,
That's
right?
that
commitment.
is love.
That's
I
big.
said, every woman I've met in the
Yeah.
last 6 months, they're all gone, and you're it. And 8 years later, and we're still together.
You need to go on you need to audition for the next Bachelor with that sort of style, that sort of track record.
Talk about
I should-
abusing the
shouldn't I?
system.
Oh, boy.
But so was she impressed with that, or was she kind of a bit disgusted that you had that going on in the first place? Or mind you, you'd met her.
No. She just melted like butter as soon as she saw me doing it.
Well, that means love, If someone has deleted
It
the
is.
dating app for me, that's everything.
Yeah, but
I don't need any more.
Hang
than
on, Nick,
that.
have you reinstated them since?
No, not at all, because in the end I realised that it was just too much of a... They play around too much with your head. So some
Bloody
some
women.
Yeah.
some are too committed. Some are too committed. Some are.
Listen, there is someone coming to my... There's someone coming to my back deck later this afternoon, and I'm not going to mention any names. It's very sneaky.
Right.
He doesn't do it now, but years ago he had it on his phone. He had a secret photo gallery, and it was disguised by a calculator. So when you went to his phone and you pushed on this app, it actually looked like a calculator and
right.
worked like a calculator.
Right.
But if you put in the right pin, it disappeared, and it was a whole separate part of his phone.
A vortex
Right.
of lies.
Oh, yeah, I love it, though. It's good. I didn't know there was an app like that.
Yeah.
I'd never
I'm gonna
heard
look
of that.
for it.
No, what we can't tell people. This is going to ruin lives.
So how honest are you then once you put your photo up on Tinder?
How honest am I?
Yeah, like
And
is
tell
it
us how it
you?
works.
Is it warts and all? What is it?
So it's really based. It's verified through Facebook. So you just pick your photos from Facebook. It's purely just photos, your name, and you can write a little bio.
But are all your photos got some kind of wash on them? Filter? Are they filtered to
No,
nth degree
no.
so you look like Claudia
No,
Schiffer?
no, I'm not. No.
She's a model, but an old-fashioned model.
I
You
know
Claudia
her.
Schiffer?
I'm not that young.
So you're 26, but you're old-fashioned. Is that what you're telling us?
Well, I'm on it to meet genuine people.
Okay,
I guess,
so
with genuine
success rate
intentions.
to disaster rate?
So far, pretty good. I've dated, a few people for a substantial amount of time from it. Haven't had too many disasters, but I think, you've got to ask the right questions and get to know people properly before you.
So, so
meet up.
some guy rings up and says, I like the cut of your jib.
Yeah.
And I'd like to take you out to Macca's.
Oh, you bloody sold me. You had me at Macca's. Say no more.
What's your opening line?
Oh, yes. Let's go right now.
No, but when you sit down and go, okay, I want to know more about you, are you
Yeah.
all giggly and flirty and girly, or are you cut to the
When
chase
we
like,
meet
do you
in
like
real
cats
life?
or dogs?
Well, cats and dogs is a big
Budgie
one,
smugglers
but-
or board shorts, that kind of thing.
I guess I keep it. I'm kind of a very down-to-earth person, so I'm very real from the get-go. But not real as in, what are you looking for? What do you want?
What's your ultimate deal breaker?
With a guy?
Yeah.
Gay.
I hate games. Look, that's
Gay could do it.
He's got to be straight for one. That would be really
Not that there's
handy.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, but for me, this is what works for me, guys. I hate playing games. I'm not into it. I just want to be myself. I want people to be themselves with me. I don't have, some girls are like, oh, don't reply straight away. Wait a few hours. Keep him holding. I just don't have time for that.
The girls say that, do they?
Yes, keep him guessing. Keep him waiting. Don't
Do you
reply
pash on the
yet.
first date?
Girl never kisses and tells.
I can tell
I'm
you do.
a
She's
lady.
blushing.
Hello.
Blushing.
I do. I go the whole hog.
13, I can't remember. 13, 32. Neil, hello.
Hi there. You were talking about stowing away.
Oh, yeah, on the first date.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 or 4 days. In the 60s, a lot of people, of course, young people went to Europe and spent a year working there and bumming around and doing all that. I met 3 fellows on the Greek ship Patrice going over and stayed friends with. A year went by.
Hey, Neil, can you talk a bit louder, please? Right into the phone.
Okay, a year went by and I came back to Australia on the camper without money, borrowed from my parents, the usual thing. And about 6 months later, the other boys came back and I said, how did Jeff go? And he didn't have any money. And they said he stowed away. We got him on the ship. And I said, he got on board in London and he got off in Perth with no money. And I said, how did he get off? And he said, we staged a fight at the gangplank and the police came and in the melee, he got off. They gave him money to get a train back to Sydney and he met them. So he was 5.5 weeks stowed away.
So where did he sleep?
Well, that was the thing. The first few nights he slept in the boys' cabin on the floor, and then the steward started to get funny about seeing plates that they'd brought back from the diner.
From the buffet.
So they then decided to move him around, and apparently after about 8 days, one of the stewards of a nationality I'm not aware of gelled as to what was happening, so the boys slung him a few pound, I think it was, in those days. He kept quiet, and Jeff got off the boat in Sydney, and the boys went on to Melbourne, and it was 5.5 weeks.
Wow.
And everyone lived happily ever after.
See, you got security checks now. You got
You could never do it.
Swipe passes, and you can't do it now. But they were the good old days when you could stow away.
Yeah, and all you can eat buffet. I mean, you'd be laughing.
Oh, wouldn't you? Thank you, Neil. Great story, Andrew. Hello.
Yeah, hi guys, how are you?
Great.
Good.
Welcome to the back deck.
Yeah, well anyway, talking about that stowaway, you mentioned that Oriana.
Yeah, I went on the Oriana.
I know the Oriana too.
Anyway, I grew up in Waterloo and I remember there was a couple of kids there one time and the next day in the paper, there they were on the front page. They ended up stowing away and they got caught somewhere, I think it might have been Fiji or somewhere, but yeah, they actually made the front page of the paper. Now they're like 12 years old.
So they got famous and had a holiday. Well, that was the thing. That was the thing with the first time. No one stowed away. People were trying to get off. that never happened on the first time.
The opposite.
Anyway,
along with the rats.
Along with everything.
right.
That's very funny.
I didn't realise people did that as on a regular basis. Sounds like they did.
Well, I guess back in the day, people used to jump trains, didn't
It was
they?
the same as the trains, yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah, you could.
Much different now.
Anyway, 13, 32.
Well, that's where that's saying all ashore who's going ashore. Isn't that kind of...
Yeah, what?
Why?
Sorry?
Selective hearing.
17 minutes to 1. Back in a sec. You're on the back.
On Sydney's original 2UE 954.
Rob Sharp from Weather Zone will join us quickly because we want to have a quick look at the weekend weather, don't we, Todd? Don't we,
Yes,
Jess?
we do. Can't wait.
We do. Now, before I go to Rob, Bernadette, hello.
Hello.
Yes, Bernadette.
I was just ringing to tell you how I met my partner.
I bet it wasn't online.
No, definitely wasn't. There was no... online wasn't even around back then.
Clothesline was about the closest you'd get.
I met
Been
my
on the hills
partner.
always.
Yeah.
I met my husband 53 years ago. I was 13, he was 15.
Wow.
We both had an older sister the same age. They belonged to a youth group where there was a concert. My sister took me, his sister took him. It was interval. We were on opposite sides of the room. We stood up, caught eyes, and that was it.
Wow.
And he's the love of my life, and we've been married for 47 and a half years, and I think I hit the jackpot.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Oh, and you're getting all mushier now.
I'm going to give you
something.
I'm going to give
I'm
you.
going to give you a phone so you can download the Tinder app and see what they do these days.
You stay away from that Tinder app, Bernadette.
What a great story. Love at first sight.
Yeah, 13 and 15.
That's right.
You can
love
imagine
it.
everything going into slow motion as they run across the floor with their arms out. You know.
They're running along the beach in slow motion.
Yeah, that's
a
it.
collage.
Yeah.
I'm the montage they call it, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to send you some Nature Bee and the Nature Bee Facelift Plus. It's a skincare product. Would you like it?
I'd love it, thank you.
He's not
Yes.
making any comment on your the
wasn't-
state of your skin.
That was
That's pretty bad prize.
That was
Oh no,
bad.
I'm sorry, it's not a good prize, but you're basically saying she needs a facelift.
and also I'll give you the hemorrhoid cream that we can.
Are you glad you called, Bernadette?
Well, my husband still thinks I'm beautiful.
He sounds like a keeper. I think you should stay with him.
I think he's going to stay.
Keep him around.
Give him the facelift cream.
Thank you, Bernadette. Stay there.
You're such a charmer, Luke.
I am, aren't I? Jacob Cronje from Weather Zone. Hello, welcome to the back deck.
Thank you. I feel very welcome. How are you doing?
Oh, we're going very, very well. What sort of weekend are we in for? What's happening tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday?
Well, we had the odd drop today, earlier this morning, but those showers not even producing a millimetre of rainfall. So we're just looking at partly cloudy conditions for the remainder of the day, and that is also true for tomorrow. So we'll start off around 10 to 11 degrees in the early hours and reach a top of 22 under partly cloudy skies. So absolutely perfect day to be out and about. But then on Sunday, it's very likely...
There's a but.
Yeah, there's always a but, I'm afraid. Yes.
When is it? Sunday?
Sunday,
No, I've
yes.
got 40 people coming around for a garden party.
Well, you'll be inside then, I'm afraid.
Marquee, the marquee.
So it looks likely that we will see at least 5 millimetres of rainfall fall across the basin, and then possibility of 10 to 15 millimetres in the western parts of Sydney, and maybe some of the central suburbs. But I'd say 5 millimetres very likely to fall, and it will remain fairly
Are we talking
cloudy.
morning or what?
No, throughout the day.
No, Jacob, we want specific suburb here. What suburb are you concerned about?
I'm very, very concerned about Pymble.
Pymble.
Okay.
Have a look at Pymble. Can you zoom in on Pymble? Just
Well,
wait
let me
here.
just consult my crystal ball.
Yeah.
And,
I will sue you if you're wrong.
Of course, yes. Very litigious. It's terrible. Okay. So it looks like showers and rain should really start developing in earnest from around midday. So the mornings could still be
It's all right.
fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
But likely I'd say we'll see some activity develop from mid-morning onward in the west and then spreading to the east.
All right. Well, luckily my garden party's tomorrow, so
Is it?
no, I'm just thought I'd annoy you. Jacob Cronje, thank you for that. Have a great weekend.
You're most welcome. Cheers.
Thank you. I think your garden party, my garden party, will be quite different.
Yeah, I think so. 13:32. It's Friday afternoon on the back deck here. Jessica, the work experience girl, Todd McKenney, and myself. We're talking stuff. We were talking about Chico rolls a second ago. I don't know. I'm obsessed with them. Lisa Chesters is the member for Bendigo. She was my guest. And she's been having a bit of a fight within Parliament. It's made Hansard.
Right,
It's-
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
they've got a lot to do, haven't they?
Haven't they?
Busy.
Labor's member for Bendigo is Lisa Chesters.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the member for Riverina, Michael McCormick, who thinks Wagga is where
The
should
Chico
be the
roll.
home of the Chico roll. Now, the story is there was a boilermaker from Bendigo,
Yep.
and his name was Frank McCrone.
Yep. That's the story I've heard.
And it shows you the nutritionist value of a Chico roll made by a Boilermaker, doesn't it?
It totally does.
Bing,
She
what was
explains
that?
a lot of the ingredients.
Ding, what was that? It's a rivet. Anyway, he wanted to make an Aussie food that you could eat with one hand,
Right.
and have a beer at the same time while at the football.
Right.
Hats off to him. Mm-hmm. So he came up with this concoction. And you want to know the ingredients?
Yeah. No, tell me.
Wheat flour, cabbage, water, cooked barley, carrot, beef, animal fat, wheat cereal, celery, onion, green beans, textured soy protein, salt, sugar, acidity regulator, 450 sodium bicarbonate, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, spices, emulsifier, 471. Colours 102, 110. I haven't finished it. Flavour enhancer 635, antioxidant 320, and it also says in the packet, no artificial flavours or colourings.
Right, but you're trying to tell me that Frank the Boilermaker had in his cupboard colours 102 and 110 and soybean protein emulsifier.
Well, he probably had to go to the chemist, but eventually he had all these ingredients in his mum's kitchen.
Oh my God!
And he's come up with this. It's a crust because
Deep fried, isn't it?
It's deep fried.
It looks
yeah,
deep fried.
yeah. You have to deep fry that.
I don't understand why it's called a Chico roll if there's no chicken in it.
Aha.
I'm confused.
Aha.
I thought it was main ingredient chicken, but I'm very
Chicks
wrong.
loved it.
Oh,
How you caught a lady.
punny.
It made chicks roll.
It made nice. Is that it?
No, apparently, bear with me. Apparently, originally it did have chicken.
Oh.
But he ran out of chicken. He
Right.
ran out of chicken.
But he had some beef stock cubes in the cupboard, and he stuck that in.
Magic.
Wow.
And so he got mutton instead of chicken at one point, and so he changed the name from chicken roll
To mutton roll.
to Chico.
To Chico roll.
Yeah.
Oh God! All I know, it's like bad breath in a bag. that
Really?
stuff.
I've never
you could
tried
have the
one.
breath of 1,000 camels after you've had one of those.
Really? Is it un-Australian that I haven't tried one?
Yes,
Oh.
it is. Pretty
Yes,
much.
get out, leave.
Yeah.
It is absolutely un-Australian that you haven't tasted one. I can't believe it, because it's a passage of. Well, I mean, you tried.
I haven't had one for 40 years, but I can still taste
But
it.
what about Chico roll?
Yeah, I haven't had that either.
Okay.
Thank you. Boom, boom.
So I have started a campaign today. I think Wagga and Bendigo can share this because it was first released at the Wagga show,
Oh.
and that's where the first
But
Chico.
Frank's from Bendigo.
Frank from Bendigo went to the Wagga show, and that's where the first
right.
Chico was
sold.
unveiled, unsheathed, if you
Right,
will,
yeah,
with the
But it
thing.
was created in Bendigo. I feel like the heart of the Chico roll is in Bendigo.
Well, they've got a song now. Are you ready for this?
So ready.
Are you ready for this?
Born ready.
Not.
There's a word in Aussie lingo for a really tasty thingo when you're driving in the Arvo, in your Falcon or Monaro. It's every Aussie's motto at the local fish and chippo. When you've given work the flicko, you roll home with a Chico.
Was that the ad?
If you're a muso or a journo,
There's more.
an ambo or a garbo, a drongo or a dero, get a Chico from the servo. If you're a Jimbo or a Jono, a Margo or a Rocco, a Watto or a Dicko, we all roll home with Chico. Roll, 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 roll home with a Chico.
It's got something.
Roll, 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 roll home with a Chico. We say
It'll
g'day
be
to
big
start.
that tune will be big at the B&S ball in, Middle Australia, wouldn't it?
We talked about B&S balls.
Did you?
Tim Ferguson from the Doug Anthony All-Stars.
Oh, he's done a doco, I think.
He's made a movie. It's a feature. It's called Spin Out, and it's about a young boy and a young girl
Right.
who have known each other for a long time. They both have a love of V8 utes,
Right.
Perfect.
and they get to the B&S, and their lives change. And it's
What?
all set around a B&S
Is
ball.
it true?
No.
Oh, right. No, because B&S balls, they actually have like burnout
They do.
competitions.
I
And
went
every
to one
other...
in Condobolin.
Yeah, they do. In
Yeah.
every other city in the world, it's illegal, but we actually pay people to win
It's
prizes
like a whole new
to do
world
it.
when you go there.
Yeah.
It is. It's a new world, the B&S. So keep an eye out for that movie. It's in the screens this weekend.
Rightio.
All around the place, you'll see it. It's called Spin Out.
Right.
Tim Ferguson. It's his writing and directional debut. And I wish him all the best, guys. Thanks for joining me on the back
Thanks
deck.
for
Oh, it's
having
great.
me.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
Would do it again.
And you've behaved
Recommend.
I'll see you online tonight, Jess.
I'll swipe right.
Is that good or bad?
No, that's good. That
Oh,
means yes.
yourself. See you guys.